Do you have a strong-willed child who is highly competitive, always talking about how things are unfair if they start to lose, or they're so competitive they want to always be the one who wins or to be first, and often when another child might be getting recognition for doing something really well, they really struggle with this. So this can be incredibly triggering for a lot of parents. I work with several families in my Reclaim Your Calm one-on-one coaching program that experience this, and I walk you through what to do. So I'm going to give you a starting place if this sounds like you, because it is incredibly taxing, because it's really triggering things within you, and I'm going to help you understand that so you can better attune to what your child is actually communicating in that moment. For those of you who are new to me, my name is Albiona Rakipi. I'm a parenting and life coach, and I help parents reframe their daily challenges so you can parent with more joy, ease, and connection. So let's jump into it. What do we do when our kids are exhibiting some of these traits that feel really like unsettling to us? We don't really like that they're doing that. So first and foremost, if your child struggles to lose, right? This is tough for a lot of parents. I always say you want to sort of walk into the fire. That's the advice that I give, meaning let them lose and don't jump in and try to sort of agree with them on all the reasons they're going to give you around why they lost. Because typically these kids will look for an external source to blame as to why they're feeling disappointed. And the reason this is happening is because the discomfort in sitting in that disappointment is so much, there needs to be someone or something else that they can blame, where they can dump that onto them. You know, it's your fault that I feel this way. It's that kid's fault that I feel this way. If they hadn't cheated, I would have never been feeling these feelings. Where instead, we actually just want to teach our kids to sit with disappointment, to sit with an outcome they don't want. So how do we actually do this? Number one, a lot of parents that I work with will say things like, sometimes I let them win. Don't let them win. I know this is hard and you're like, gosh, I'm just going to be walking into this firestorm if I don't do this, but let them lose. And when it is you that they lose against, it can be a safe environment, and you can practice the tools that I'll teach you in terms of how to comfort them, what to do once they feel highly disappointed. Number two, don't constantly accommodate them in play, in sport, in any kind of activity. So what does this look like? A lot of times we let our strong-willed kids dictate what play will look like because we don't want the argument, we don't want the battle. Or sometimes we'll do things like, you know, we'll just let them go first, because if they're not first, it's going to disrupt the entire family game, and now we're going to be in this big upheaval and fighting and all these things. So we tend to tiptoe around our kids who are like this, and as a result, our kids don't ever get the experience that they actually need, which is to experience disappointment, to feel frustration, to sit with disappointment, and to not have everyone around them agree when they say, it was the ref's fault. And then we're like, yeah, it was the ref. That ref was terrible. Instead, what if we just said, yeah, maybe, but you know what? It still doesn't change anything. And there's always going to be a good ref or a bad ref or a great coach and a coach that's not as great. Like, it doesn't matter. What can we do? What can you do right now with these feelings? What can you do the next time you go to play? What can you change about something coming up in the future? Instead, make it about their own personal gain rather than sitting in this blame game that a lot of kids will lean on. And the third thing is, whatever they say in the aftermath when they're really struggling to work through that disappointment, watch yourself and how triggered you're getting. This is where I teach my 4-step process, PAR. It stands for pause, acknowledge, respond, reflect. I have a 60-minute download on this. It's completely free, and it's a workshop where I teach you how to apply PAR to your own parenting process. But essentially, it moves you from reactive to responsive. So when our kids start to blame everyone else, this can be really triggering. So now we double down and we want to teach our kids accountability. You don't get to talk like that. You're not being truthful. You lost because, and we really take the bait and we start to fight with them in that moment when they're not really in a space to argue back. So then they become more dysregulated, we become more dysregulated, and in part it's because they're hitting on that trigger for us, that like, oh my gosh, I'm raising a kid who is selfish, I'm raising a kid who's not accountable, I'm raising a kid who's not being honest and taking responsibility for their part. So instead, watch what's coming up for you, remain really calm and steady, create the space where they can say those things. You just don't want to be in agreement. That's the key. You don't want to sit there and agree with them. Otherwise, we bring validity to the things they're saying. Let them experience the disappointment. Let them experience that fallout. Let them work through it. And I promise you, they will get so much better at developing resilience and grit around the ups and downs that come with not just sports, but life and wins and losses and times where we can control an outcome and times where often we can't. So we want to give our kids the tools to do this. For additional information, if you guys ever wanted to learn more about that transformative coaching process that I have, it's 12 weeks. I'm with you there step by step of the way to put some really great frameworks in place to give you the tools to really connect and create the environment for conducive connections in your home. Go ahead and book a free call. I'm taking 2 new clients in June.